especially still Ukrainian market was not so big at all. And in compare with a lot of European markets, it's not too big. I'm participating and I'm ambassador of European Women Payment Network. I'm also like a mentoring and I'm organizing different meetups. It's really quite hard to understand how can I use it. For me, it was more like as a fitness for my brain. It's a very hard work. And that is why, to be honest, I decided to go to work and just from my first year of education in the university, I start my career.
So, hello, Miss Valeria. Thanks a lot for finding time to join us into our virtual studio and only your bank interview.
Hi, Igor. Really nice to meet you. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's always a pleasure for me meeting you also and to discuss with you the most important question.
Great, thanks a lot. So first of all, I'd like to ask you to briefly introduce yourself to our audience, who you are and what your current activities are.
So my name is Valeria and I'm the CEO and founder of company Fondy. Fondy, it is a B2B Fintech company. We are focusing on the problem related to the B2B payments between platforms and B2B contractors. We really would like to make the platform where you can manage your payments from the consumer until your contractor in a very smooth and fast way that it can be paid really fast and according to your conditions and according to your terms. If you would like to avoid any payment delays, you would like to avoid very high commission and fees, and we would like to be very easy for implementation.
Great. Thanks a lot for that intro. Then I'd like to move to the very beginning of your professional journey. I'd like to ask you what education did you get, and does it correlate somehow with your current activities as a woman in banking?
It will be a little bit strange, or maybe it will be very good for you, because to be honest, I was educated in the university and I was studying finance. It was clear from the day one when I just came to school that my knowledge in general, my mindset is very logical, and I was always very strong in maths. And just after, as still I'm a woman and I wanted something more general, how I can use my knowledge in maths, but in the practical way. Because to be a science, I'm really I always admire, and I think it's great when people want to go to science. But I understood from the day one when I also needed to choose where I would like to go in university. To be honest, we understood that for me it will be better to use my knowledge in maths, but in a practical way. And that is why I decided to choose my profession as finance. From the day one, I was educating, to be honest, the markets, companies, the stability of the companies. And as you know, as I was from Ukraine, and to be honest, maths in Ukraine is really very strong. And the first years, we had so many different maths. And it was complicated sometimes because you really didn't understand why you need so many knowledge and different matrix and a lot of this. You always had the only one question: how can I use it? And that is why I decided, okay, it's really quite hard to understand how can I use it. For me, it was more as a fitness for my brain. It's a very hard work. And that is why, to be honest, I decided to go to work and just from my first year of education in the university, I start my career.
Great. What you're saying really relates to me because I was studying banking in Ukrainian university as well. And I had 10 different kinds of math. And I was, as well as you did, why do I need it?
Yeah, exactly.
So when you started your career, was it was you an employee or it was your own business straight away?
For sure, when I start my own career, I was just the simple manager in a bank. The first corporate where I was, it was bank. And I came just for half day, and I was a manager, a sales manager. That is why I can tell you that I started my career from the first position when you needed to do everything, just everything what you can in a bank. It was super exciting for me, and I really enjoyed first my years. And I think that it was super important years for me to understand like the structure, to understand the processes, just everything, because I feel that it's really important for people also for the future. Even when you decide to start your own business, it's good when you have some experience. And as also, I think that you will share with me this idea that unfortunately in our country, it was always not so fashion to be entrepreneur. I'm glad that now it's changing. But before, when I start my education in university, it was not fashionable. And generally, like not so many people, they knew how to start your own business. It was a normal way to be a manager, to be a doctor, policeman, the fireman, wherever else. But it's definitely the first year idea. It's not about to become an entrepreneur. That is why, I didn't know how to start my own business, and I started just working, and I joined to the team in the bank, and during almost 8 years, I was working in bank.
Was that experience of being the manager in a bank useful in your business activity? I'm wondering.
Yeah, I can tell you that for sure, because it's still it is a community for you. When you are working in a bank, it's still like community. It's a first knowledge. It's understanding of the processes. I feel, and also why now as an entrepreneur, I also would like to implement more programs for young generation where they can get more knowledge about entrepreneurship, and also where I would like to see that people can start their own business, because to be honest, in Ukraine, for my opinion, it's more theoretical knowledge in university, and you will never understand how to set up your business. It will be just the theory, and that's it. And even after the fifth year or in the university, you will need just to get another one education, more practical. That is why my feeling and my understanding that for me, my time in bank, it was my education. And after, when I started my first startup company, it was exactly also like as an MBA. I don't have MBA, but my first MBA, it was again my own experience. I feel that it's much more expensive rather than any type of MBA, but it brings you more knowledge, and also it brings you more vision, and it helps you more also like as a personality. And that is why I can tell you that for sure, like working in a bank, it was super important for me to understand what does it mean corporate culture or gap in this. What does it mean to communicate with your team, how to grow, how to build the processes. I feel that it was quite reliable experience for me.
How old were you when you decided to switch from being an employee to start your own business, and why you came to that idea? Not to continue being an employee in a bank, like to grow in the career, but to start your own business journey.
I feel that, first of all, I'm a very ambitious person, and I want to see that things are moving forward, and I would like to see the changes. If I don't see that I can influence on the result and I can create the result, it's not interesting for me. I'm not the person of the process that I will be building, but without the results. For me, it's super important to see that we are moving, we are growing, and we have the results. We are producing something. And the most important, that we are changing something to the better. For me, like this progress is super important. And as you know, that very often in banks, and especially when it is a big banks, it's super hard always be in this like progress, and you can't always just like to challenge something and get a new one result. It's not about banks. And when I was growing and like moving from position to position, growing as a corporate in a corporate career, and also when I was building like something, I was happy. But after that, when I deliver it, and when I really like recognize that there are no any more room for changes, and there are no any room for me that I can build something, I can create something. And since that time, I understood that, yeah, I can't stay just to support and just to deal, as an example, like just with the client without an opportunity to deliver for my clients something new. And as I was the deputy head of corporate business, I always dealt with corporate business, and I knew what their problems were. They are struggling, and I understood that e-commerce in Ukraine was not so advanced. And if you remind into 2012, like 2013, there are not so many e-commerce companies at all. But I realized that it is a best way for companies to get more clients, because when you work just in offline, unfortunately, you always have a lot of limitation, because you can sell just to your neighbors, or you can also open another one shop, and in the result you can also sell in another one city. That's it. But if to speak about online business, you can, first of all, you will have more flexibility, that you don't need to invest in any like stores, in equipment. You can sell in online, you can have more clients, and you can get more clients wherever they are. It's not like limitation. And exactly like with this idea, I left my corporate banking career, and I started my very small and my first startup company. And it was really very small. It was just with maybe all together like 6 people. And we set up a small company. We had, as always, like ambition just to help companies, help to like a thousand of business to start their business in online. And as we also were aware about that, for entrepreneurs, it's every time super hard to cover all like the fields and to understand all the things. And payments, to be honest, and banking, when I was always working banking, it was super boring for everyone. Nobody wants to deal with the banks and financial general like instruments, because everyone knows that super hard, super complicated to implement, always a lot of bureaucracy, because each bank will ask you tons of documents. If you would like to make some integrations, it's just for years. That is why my idea was to really to bring on the market a service which will be very easy, very friendly, and with a very good service level. Because technology, it's also about how easy it can be for us. It's not like so important. You don't understand in the result what is inside of your laptop and your phone, but you are just using it because, and you like that it is very simple. And my opinion and my vision was that exactly like the payments should be very easy for business. And with such an idea, I started my first company.
So did it work? Is it your current company, or what happened?
Yeah, and now it's like a second. Yeah, sure, it worked. We became the market leader. When you have an ambition, and your ambition is to really see the happiness of your client and to make your client happy, just believe me, success will come. Because, for my opinion, clients, they are the best investors. If you can build a great relationship with your clients, and if you will win the trust from your clients, you will never have problem with investors, investments, and profit. That is why just from the day one, you need to focus and to choose the right priorities. Who should tell you what to do? And in the business, it should be always client.
True that. I can confirm. So, as I understand correctly, or correct me if I'm wrong, you're now based in UK and your business is based there as well. But what you was talking about before, right now, it was in Ukraine. How long ago you moved, and why you decided to switch from Ukrainian market to European market? How was the process of this, like relocation, let's say?
So the first my company, it was in Ukraine, and we grew up there. But fintech, it is always about markets, because especially still Ukrainian market was not so big at all, and in compare with a lot of European markets, it's not big enough, and there are not so many companies still now. For my opinion, it's a young market. It's just like a growing. I always had an idea to have international business and to cover markets, to help companies to scale from one market to another one. That is why I moved to Europe and after to UK. Again, like to help entrepreneurs to scale their business, because I know that to set up business when you are an expat and when you are just moving from country to country, it's not an easy. And you face every time with a lot of questions how to do it. And I wanted again to help a lot of startups just to manage this issue and to support them to start their business faster. Because from my opinion, we passed a lot of really questions, and we spent a lot of time just to understand the local regulation requirements, all the compliance question. And with our solution, I just wanted to make it as much as simple for our also clients. And that is why in 2016, I moved after in Europe.
So since our project is focusing on empowering women, on giving them more power and abilities worldwide, I want to switch a bit to your personal view as a woman in banking. Especially you were working in both Ukrainian and European markets, which are significantly different. I think you can admit it. I'm wondering, you as a woman in business, have you ever faced some sort of discriminations, if I can say it that way, both in Ukraine and in Europe, especially in banking, which is let's say, originally men's world, as at least what I'm hearing from a lot of women I'm talking to in business. Have you ever faced that? What's your opinion on that?
Let's divide this question on two. First of all, I can tell you that yes, there are more East European markets, and West European, and there are two different things and two different feelings. Because I can tell, I have never felt discrimination. It's because a discrimination, it's that you can't do it according to the law. But I know that it's not. It was not true here in the UK, because a lot of years ago, women, they even had the Sharia law in compare with the men. In East European markets, to be honest, as with the law, it's always a tricky question for everyone. That is why it's nothing about just women. But I can tell you, I didn't feel that I have some restrictions, yes, or discrimination. But there are it's answering this question, but there are different, maybe as a statement that in East European market, the women should be weak. Women should be spending more time with the family, kids, but definitely should be not involved in the business. Practically, I feel that it's just because, again, coming back to my first statements about that, before, unfortunately, it was not so developed at all entrepreneurships in East European markets. People, again, they were more as a managers, or they were working in some government position. But definitely they were not involved in the business. In the West European markets, it's different. Definitely you can see more women in the business, but in the different markets. Again, it's not finance. If it was again the discrimination, I know we need to maybe to look more carefully in the history to understand why it was. But I think that maybe it was also in the reason that we as women, we have never chosen this also target and also these spheres. For us, we always also we like more, I don't know, some maybe food, restaurants, or something services, businesses, rather than financial. But it doesn't mean that it is some discrimination and it is some particular reason. It was historical fact that women, they were more involved in other spheres of the business, and men, they were involved more in financial market. But to be honest, I felt this first time when I was traveling on the first conference of Money 2020 in 2015, and I really remember, and for me it's so bright my memory, because I remember that when I was entering in this event, and it was really 97% of men. And they were looking at me that what are you doing here? If you are some assistant of some men, but because you can't be here as entrepreneur. And it was exactly, I was reading in their eyes this question. I was glad that also I was with my director, and he exactly he was a man. And I was feeling myself, yes, okay, fine. I'm a citizen. I will play this role because it's a man. According to the song, it's a man world, and it's fine. Sometimes, again, you can be smart enough to play this game, and you accept just, again, to win. Because what does it mean for me, our victory, and our what does it mean win? I can tell you that today I don't have these feelings anymore. And even now in Money 2020, you don't have such feelings as it used to be, because nowadays it's like a 50-50%. 50 it is like a man, 50 it's a woman, and you feel that it's cool. We really changed the things, we accepted, and we made step by step changes. And I felt definitely during a lot of years, and I even directly I heard this question that who is behind you, because you as the woman you can't run the business. And I was like always laughing. Okay, what is the reason why I can't? Especially if to discuss and generally East European markets, because for this market, like women can't. You should have someone behind you. I mean, you should have like a man, strong man, who will tell you what to do, how to do. If it's different, it can't be. It just can't be. That is why. But I'm even like here. I love and I like to challenge the situation and to change it, because I know that we are, for sure we are different, and the way of the management we have quite different. It doesn't mean that it's bad. No, it's not a bad or it's a good. It's just a different way. I don't want to be like and to manage like my company as like a man, because I even don't understand. I just see that it's like a different culture. Maybe it's like a different way, but I feel that it's each person has a different like a secret sauce of his business, and you don't need to try to be as someone else. You just need to do what you can. And what I can tell you that for sure women can run successfully business and can become the biggest, the best. And even like in here in the UK, we can see the results of Starling Bank, and I really confirm that it is possible. And you don't need to tell just everyone from the day one, I will be the best of the best, and we will be just a unicorn. You need to do your own business, focusing again on your clients, on your partners, and to move without like any thoughts that you will have discrimination. You don't need to give you these excuses, because I feel very often that women, they don't do something because they have from the day one these excuses. Because I'm woman, I know that it's not for me. No, it's for you, and just you decide if it is for you or it's not. And after, you just need to find the way how you will get your results. That's it.
Such a great approach, it's like sometimes I hear it, it's only the matter of your personal attitude. So you can like face it, but you can not even care about it at all. And this is your example, and I believe it's a great one. So I'm wondering, are you participating in some, communities of like women in business, women in tech, women in fintech? Are you participating in them or communicating and somehow supporting them nowadays? What you think about that?
Yeah, I'm participating and I'm ambassador of European Women Payment Network. I'm also like mentoring, and I'm organizing different meetups, and also like have a program for entrepreneurs, trying to promote again like in East European markets entrepreneurship as like the whole, like the people, they should know more, and they should trust themselves, and they don't need to scare to start their own business. Even if they will fail, it's fine. You know that in the US, I like this also approach that after like in a big corporation, they love to employ people who failed with the startups, because when you fail, you are growing. Because it's fine to have mistakes. Otherwise, you will never be better tomorrow if you don't have mistakes. And that is why also like I'm pushing on the one hand, people, young generation, to become entrepreneurs. On the other hand, I'm also like I'm the part of I feel that it's a very big community of European Women Payment Network, where we are organizing events, we support each other, we exactly promoting. And my feelings is that I met them exactly again on Money 2020, and a lot of women which I met in the first Money 2020, they are part of this great community now. Almost all who I know now they have a very high position in different banks, corporations. Again, I know that not so many women, they choose the direction to become the entrepreneur. Um, difficult question. On the one hand, I know from my side also that it's a little bit, for my understanding, is that it's a little bit more complicated to get the funds from investments, from investor, because I feel that it's just more about stereotype that also when you are coming with an idea, very often, or you are not so ambition to like to win all our globe, yeah, from the day one, because you definitely should be a global company from the day one for investors, and very often. And that is why, like, women, they don't have enough capital to start their own business. That is why we don't see so many women in the business. But again, I can see during the last 2 years, it's a new one funds which supports exactly. They support exactly women, and they invest in women. They are like purely focused. It is like an investment in women, and it's a really great initiative. And I hope that we will see more and more women in the business during the next couple of years.
So great to hear your approach about the women communities. And I'd like to ask, what you think? Are they doing enough? I mean, the whole like communities aimed to empower women to give them more and more options and like abilities today, or we still need to develop this movement to make more and more and more to kill this inequality, which is still unfortunately existing in the world.
I feel it is always not enough. It is always not enough because we see we see the changes during the last 10 years, but it's still not enough, because if you look at amount of women in entrepreneurs, and we will see it's not enough. There are really few of us. Again, I can tell you it's maybe depends on the industry, because for sure, like in fashion, we can see much more, and it depends on our goals. But as I'm in fintech, I'm in finance, and my feeling it's still not enough. It is again about education, about support, to give the access to investors, and also to encourage and support women to scale their business, to scale their knowledge, and support just that they can do it. That there are no restriction, and it is the same opportunity as for men, because yeah, it's still, I feel, I don't know, maybe it is like I don't remember exact amount as like in percent, but I feel that it is less than 10% we can find like women in entrepreneur.
So the dynamics is positive, but still we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that still we can do much more, and still we need push. And my feeling, and I can also tell you that I don't want to see that it will be just you must have it just because it is just according to the law, but it should be fair to really to have women in the boards, in a C-level position, but it should be not just as an obligation, but it should be more about acceptance from the society that it is a normal, and really accept that women can bring a big value in each company and change, and also have a great knowledge. I really like that in even like in the new one, all the best companies such as like an OpenAI, we can see really in a tech position women, and it's really great because such examples can show that innovation it doesn't depend on the gender. Innovation it's not a gender, it's more personality, and that's it. But it's really exactly how it should be. It doesn't matter. We should choose according to knowledge, expertise, ideas, but not about the gender.
100%. So that's what we are trying to, make a little impact on this from our side as a female-oriented bank. So it's a great conversation, a lot of like powerful thoughts and insights, and I really like your approach to business and to things you are doing. So to wrap up our today's conversation, I'd like to ask you to say something to our audience, just from yourself, some motivational speech or whatever you want to say to whoever watching us now.
First of all, I would like to tell you and myself, don't accept and don't give yourself any excuses. Don't try to tell that it is easier for someone. It's not an easy. Nobody knows how it is for someone. You always need to look on at yourself and understand that if you want to do it and if you want to get this result, you just need to do it and move step by step on the daily base to your goals. There are no any other chances that you will be where you want to be. If you will just every time think that I'm different, I can't because, don't try to find this because. Just try to find the way and focus on the way how to get and how to reach your destination. Because unfortunately, we will never have any other maybe like lives and choices. You have this day, you have this time, and you need to do just what you can to get your success, to get your goals, to get your dreams. That is why, please don't think that if you are woman, you can't. No, if you are woman, you can do whatever you wish and you will be where you wish. That's, I think, that the key approach for all of us.
Great, great, great. Thanks a lot, Valeria, for our today's interview. I do really appreciate this. I do appreciate your time, and I wish you all the best in your personal and business life ever.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and thank you for the invitation. And I hope that after our conversation, we also will see more women in business.
Great.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.